All right, welcome to the Explainer. Today we're going to pull back the curtain on something pretty incredible. The tech that keeps your TV channels running 24/7. We're talking about the broadcast video server. Just so you know, what we're covering today comes from part 16 of a big 40-part series on modern broadcast studios. So yeah, we're diving deep into video servers and playout systems. Have you ever really stopped to think about that? How a TV station can just run thousands and thousands of shows, commercials, promos, back-to-back all day, every day, without a single hiccup? Well, the answer lies in this really specialized piece of hardware, something that completely took over from those old-school videotape machines. Okay, let's get right to the core of it. The video server, and I am not exaggerating here. It's literally the heartbeat of any modern TV station. It's the unsung hero behind the curtain, making all that seamless television magic happen. Now, the first thing you gotta understand is this is not your average office server that you'd find in some IT closet. No way. This thing is a completely different beast. It's a super high-performance system built from the ground up for one thing and one thing only: the insane demands of playing video flawlessly forever. So the big question is, how does a TV show or a commercial actually make that journey from just being a file on a hard drive to appearing on your screen? Well, it all boils down to a really clear 4-step process we call playout. And it all starts right here, in a rack full of servers. Now, you might look at this and think, hey, that looks like any other data center rack. But trust me, what's going on inside is engineered for a job that is way, way more demanding and time-sensitive. Okay, so here's how that whole workflow plays out. Step 1 is ingest. That's just a fancy word for getting the content, a show, a movie, whatever, into the system. It gets converted or transcoded into the perfect, high-quality format for broadcast. Then, step 2, storage. All that media gets stored on these super fast, super reliable RAID arrays. Think of them as teams of hard drives working together for speed and to prevent any data loss. Step 3 is playout. This is where an automation system, the brain of the operation, tells the server, okay, play this commercial now with perfect frame-accurate timing. And finally, step 4, monitoring. The whole system is constantly checking on itself, reporting its status back. It's this beautiful, perfectly timed, continuous loop. All right, let's pop the hood and see what makes these things tick. We need to understand how they're built, their architecture. Because in the broadcast world, it's not just about being fast. It's about guaranteed performance every single time. The way these are built is this really cool mix of standard IT ideas and very specialized broadcast engineering. So you've got the shared storage, which is like the library. You have the server engines, the workhorses that actually generate the video. Then there's the control system, which is the brain, the director, telling everyone what to do. It all connects through these super fast network and output interfaces to get the show on the road, literally. And this is so important to understand. When we talk about the storage here, we're not just talking about capacity. How many terabytes it can hold. The real magic is its ability to deliver guaranteed sustained speed or throughput for maybe dozens of different video streams all at once without ever dropping a single frame. That's the game changer. And this quote from the source material just hits the nail on the head. It says, video server storage systems must provide guaranteed sustained throughput rather than average performance. Think about that. In regular IT, average performance is usually fine. But in broadcast, average means you're off the air. It has to be a guaranteed, rock-solid performance every second of every day. So this all leads us to what is probably the single most important part of broadcast engineering: designing a system that can never, ever go off air. I mean, the goal is to never go dark because the stakes are just unbelievably high. And this just shows you the night and day difference between these two worlds. In a normal office, if a server crashes, getting it back up in a few minutes, maybe even an hour, that's often considered a win. In broadcast, no. The failover, the switch to a backup, it has to be instantaneous. It has to be seamless. The viewer at home should have absolutely no idea anything even went wrong. So how do they pull this off? Well, they basically build a fortress of reliability. It's all about redundancy, redundancy, redundancy. We're talking mirrored servers, 2 identical systems running in perfect sync, ready for one to take over in a nanosecond. They have backup channels, redundant storage, redundant networks, even entire backup facilities in different cities. And why go to such extreme lengths? Because the cost of an outage, both in terms of money and regulations, is just massive. Think about it.
For a big network, 1 minute of dead air during prime time could cost hundreds of thousands of dollars in lost ad revenue. It's a huge deal.
Okay, so let's wrap this up by looking at the key things that really make a broadcast video server a totally unique piece of technology.
This table lays it out perfectly, right? For a broadcast server, performance has to be guaranteed, not just average. The timing has to be frame accurate. We're talking 1/30th of a second precision, not just kinda close. Reliability means instantaneous failover, not we'll get it back up in a few minutes. And its whole reason for being is real-time video, not just storing Word documents. You just can't swap a regular IT server into this job. It wouldn't work. So, look, if there's one key thing to take away from all this, it's this. A broadcast video server is not just a big hard drive. It's a high-performance, real-time engine that is engineered down to the last detail for absolute precision and rock-solid reliability, all day, every day. And this leaves us with a really fascinating question for the future. We see broadcasting moving more and more towards the cloud. But can that kind of environment, a virtualized world that depends on the public internet, can it really deliver the same level of insane precision and instantaneous reliability we've been talking about? That is the big challenge engineers are wrestling with right now. Something to think about. Thanks for tuning into this explainer.